Welcome to Wayland Union School's Parent University. I'm Kelly Boston, Library Media Specialist.
And I am Cheryl Wilson, the Teacher Technology Consultant.
And in this video, we're going to be talking about screen time and parent resources for managing technology. So a lot of people have raised concerns about excessive screen time, kids being on their devices all the time, and just being too connected with their technology. Cheryl, you're in the classroom a lot, all over the district. What's your experience been with that?
As I'm in teachers' classrooms, I think you're going to notice that there's a lot of teachers that, for personal and for school, definitely want the balance between the technology and using other resources. Very few of our teachers want the kids on the devices all the time. If there's ever a question, I encourage you to get online for some of the teachers that share their lesson plans, like through Planbook or other resources. Check out what your student is doing each day. Or if you have a question with like maybe elementary students, a lot of the teachers post those on the board and ask them, find out what is it that's listed that they're using the technology for. So check in with your student's teacher, and I think you're going to find out there is a pretty good balance about the students not being on technology too much. There's also a question sometimes too with, we don't have internet at home, so I can't do the homework and such. Please make sure your student's teacher is aware of that. A lot of teachers have different ways to deal with that, whether the student downloads the information while they're at school on Wi-Fi, or they're also might be doing something with Google, and Google has offline app availability. So quite often you can do the work offline, and once you go to school and you're back on Wi-Fi, it's back there. So please just check with your teacher if that's a question about doing that work without internet access at home.
And sometimes too, your school library might be open after school or during lunch hours, or if you're at Pine Street or Stevie Henniker Library is a good option as well.
And then also, we just want to encourage you to talk with your student, especially with the secondary students. I see probably more of an issue with students on their phones too often rather than their iPads. And as a school policy in general, it's only to be used during approved times. And so if they're on their phone too much during school, that might be violating school policy. So talk with your student about that and make sure you enforce some guidelines or restrictions on that.
Thank you. So talking more about what parents can be doing to support what we're doing at school. Like Cheryl mentioned, talking to your student about how they're using the iPads at school, how they think that they can be managing their time with them, and have them be part of that solution, because they're going to have to make those decisions on their own at some point. I want you to know that even though it's a school device, it's okay for you to have your own management for it at home. So you can manage it the way you would a personal device that you provide for your student in terms of rules, having it locked away at night, the amount of screen time you want your student to be having on it when they have it at home, as well as we are happy to provide passcodes or the passwords to their school Google account so that you can be monitoring that as well.
So in regards to screen time, if you do have some concerns about your students' usage, Apple has built in some management tools for screen time, and we're going to share with you the support that Apple has, ways to set up apps, how long they can be on them, maybe which apps, some restrictions, so you can empower your student, or you can actually take control of how to help them manage their screen time. In addition, for other students, you may want to look into what guided access offers. Again, we'll share some resources in the description of this video about guided access and how to do that as well.
And just like we do at school, we really appreciate when parents at home encourage a balance between technology, getting outside, getting exercise. It's all about that media balance for a sense of well-being. One resource that can be really great that we use a lot at school is called Common Sense Media. And what they do is they create a rating system for apps, video games, movies, TV shows, books, all of that content that your students are consuming, and we just don't have time to preview every single thing. They actually have parents and educators go in and review them and let you know what's age appropriate for where your student is at. So that can be a great resource. They also have some parenting advice and ways to support families as you're navigating the challenges and opportunities that technology can bring.
I recently came across a website called Privacy Grade, and it's put together by Carnegie Mellon. And basically, they have rated some privacy issues and given grades to a lot of apps that students are on for either educational or personal use. And you may want to take a look at this. It's kind of eye-opening. Apps that you think, oh no, like Snapchat might be awful, actually it rates pretty well, where Angry Birds is a little bit lower. So be sure to check that out, and maybe some of those apps your students are using, ask the questions about privacy on there.
Yeah, and that's a great conversation to be having with your kids again, too. They need to be thinking about, how is this website protecting my personal information? One other resource that we use at school for media class with up through 5th grade is called Be Internet Awesome, which is from Google, and they offer some family resources as well, so we'll link those below the video. Anything we haven't covered, you're always welcome to contact us or contact the technology department. We're happy to help.
Thank you for watching this installment on what parents can do and screen time, and watch some more of those Parent University videos.